Hello, everybody. We're back with Dr. Laura Christoph and Ashley Cole. Dr. Laura Christoph's a professor of nutrition, and we are making a healthy chocolate cake.
We are.
There is such a thing?
There is. So, well, healthy-ish. Healthier.
Healthier. That's the important word. But we're putting beets in the cake, which I find fascinating.
Yeah, so you can put a lot of vegetable purees into baked goods and, you know, in place of butter or in place of oil. Beets are a tough one unless there's a lot of flavor already in there. So
because their flavor is pretty potent as it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty potent, and then they're pretty red too. So you know, it's going to change the color of a vanilla cake, for example. So
That's true. So that's why we're doing it with chocolate.
Right,
because it
right,
makes sense.
exactly. But adding a fruit or vegetable puree instead of butter, you know, adds some fiber, adds a lot of nutrients, and then takes away some of the fat in the product.
Great.
And if you're making a goal to add a fruit or vegetable to every meal, you can even add it to dessert.
So you could eat a bunch of chocolate cake all the time and get your nutrition that way.
I don't know about that, but this is a good alternate
Nice
dessert.
try, Seth.
Yeah, I'm always trying to get as much flourless chocolate cake into my life as possible.
All
Right.
right, so it's flourless.
Yep, it's
in the
flourless.
title. Now the beet puree, did you puree it yourself?
Yep,
Like what was the process to get it to this?
Yeah, so you take two, you know, rather large beets or 3 small beets, and you know, you peel them, you steam them, and then you just mash them up as if you were mashing a potato or something.
Cool.
You could also use canned beets if the fresh beets aren't available to you. But I know I get a winter farm share, and I'm always trying to figure out what to do with the beets because you can only eat so many in a salad, right?
Yeah, and then you say, I'm so sick of beets. If you get them in the can, should you rinse them off or something because the salt's on them?
Yep, you want to rinse them off, but then also I find that if I use the can for this recipe, I just don't need to add the 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So
that makes
you know,
sense.
so the recipe has a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but if you're using the canned ones, then just don't add it.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna start putting it together. What goes
Okay.
into it?
So a 3/4 cup of honey, that's the sweetener in here. And
All right.
you know, honey is sweetener, but you can get local honey, you can support the local economy.
There's some
just,
great local honey in
yeah,
Western Massachusetts.
bees make it, you know, so local bees, support your local bees. We also have three eggs.
Okay.
3 eggs, and then a 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder.
Okay.
For here.
I'm putting in what I imagine is some sort of oil. Is it
Yeah,
olive
that's
oil?
olive oil. And
Now,
a
does it
1/3 of a
taste-
cup of olive oil.
Does it taste really olivey?
It
Do you get that olive oil
doesn't.
taste? Okay.
So it doesn't taste olivey. Again, you know, if you're making something with chocolate and then you have the 2 beets or the 1 cup of canned beet puree. And so you just mix it all together, and then we put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes.
Easy.
Oh, you
Yep.
can smell those.
Oh,
I
we
see.
didn't-
I enjoy the beet smell.
We didn't add the spice though. So the 2 spices recommended are cinnamon plus cayenne pepper. The cayenne pepper makes it a little spicy, so I find I have to cut that spice with a little bit of Greek yogurt or a little bit of clotted cream or something on the top of the cake. So if you're just having the cake plain, you might just want to add that 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Okay.
But a little pinch of cayenne tastes pretty good too.
We actually have an herbalist on the show who says if you're cold, in your boots, put cayenne pepper. It works.
Oh, interesting.
I thought it was crazy, but no, it actually works.
All right, so if you have some on hand, add it to the cake
Throw
too.
a cake and boots, and then
None
you're good to
from
go.
your boots. That's weird.
Throw the excess away.
There you
Okay,
go.
so we got this. It's kind of lumpy, but for the sake of time, put it in there once you add the spices in the oven,
in
and
the
then
oven.
voila.
Yeah, and then, you know, I dress it up with either a little Greek yogurt or a little bit of clotted cream on the top, not sweetened.
Not
so,
ice cream.
Yep,
on the
not
top.
ice cream.
Okay.
And then some raspberries for a little bit of color. It's a pretty thin little layer, so it's pretty decadent. You know, it's pretty rich, so you can have a pretty small serving and feel pretty satisfied.
It's beautiful.
I can't wait to dig
you.
in. Dr. Christoph, thank you so much for all of these tips
you.
and recipes. Head to our website, mymassappeal.com, later today. And tomorrow on Mass Appeal, we're celebrating New Year's Eve in style. We got fashion tips.
Fashion tips, so much more. That's on Monday.
Yeah,
we
it
got
is.
the weekend ahead of
We
us.
got so I want you to have a fantastic weekend, but also I think you should stay tuned for 22 News at noon. It's coming up next.
Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Monday.